the News Channel 5 Network, this is Morning Line with Nick Beres.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Morning Line. Nick Beres here on a Thursday. Did you know that this is National Hispanic Heritage Month? It's Hispanic Heritage Month here in this area, and you're wondering, okay, do you mean, Nick, October? And I go, no, actually it runs from September 15th to October 15th, and we'll talk about why that is. But we're going to do a program today kind of just looking at the culture, what the Hispanic Heritage Month is all about, some of the programs that are out there, not just for the Latino community and the growth and what's happening, which is very exciting here in our Middle Tennessee area for the Latino community, but also for everyone else. It's the whole idea of this is inclusive. Some amazing cultural things, everything from the restaurants to the music to the business, all of that. We're going to get into it. We can take some phone calls, questions, comments, or if you have suggestions for things that, you know, this is something I'm very interested in that I should check into, call and join in the conversation. We're talking this morning with Diana Perez. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Nick.
You are with Conexion Americas. You're the Associate Director in Marketing and Communications. So that's good that you're on the show today. And if you would, first, get just a little bit of background for folks that they know what Conexion Americas is all about.
Conexion Americas is a nonprofit that started in 2002. We are celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Wow.
So a lot of celebration this year for Conexion Americas.
Yeah.
And now that it's the Hispanic Heritage Month, of course, we have been doing all kind of things. Our mission is to build a welcoming community where Latino families can belong, contribute, and succeed.
Okay.
So there is an array of programs that we bring to the Latino community for them to start their businesses, to buy a home, to improve their English, to help their kids succeed in college, in the school, and go to college. And at the end, it's just all about integrating our community in this social and cultural, economic vitality of the city.
I think I remember when Conexion Americas did start, and I've been here a while, that was 2 decades ago. You've been here now about 10 years. 10 years
yes.
or so. Just in that time, I mean, how much has it changed? I mean, when it first started, it was certainly needed, but the population since then, I don't know how many times it's doubled, but I mean, it's much larger population. I think I was reading here, among others right now, you know, you assist more than 9,000 individuals and their families.
Yeah, every year.
Every year. And is that in the Nashville area, the Middle Tennessee area? How far out can you expand?
It's, well, we definitely offer it to Middle Tennessee area. Okay. Nashville is the most prominent, of course. And we are centered in Nashville.
That's what
and this is South Nashville, the International Corridor, Nolensville Road. So, of course, all the participants that we have for our programs and people that come to us is around this area.
Sure.
But open to.
What would you say in the 10 years that you've been here? I mean, what have you seen change the most, the growth and what has happened with the Latino community and the way it's perhaps integrated here in Middle Tennessee and Nashville?
Well, I know the Latino community has had an amazing growth, I believe. Don't quote me, but I think it's around 65% since 2010.
But you just see more restaurants, more of the culture,
yes.
Especially on Nolensville Road. It's incredible to go down there. It's just a wonderful place to visit, just because I'd like to see it expand beyond Nolensville Road, frankly. You know?
Yes, absolutely. What I have seen, so I got here and I'm like, yes, I think we need more people here, with more Latino here, and I've been seeing these more cultural representation of the different cultures of the Latino community, more restaurants, more music, more American people enjoying these, which is kind of like what we want, right? It's not just, okay, this is a big group of Latino community doing their own thing.
Right.
It's just part of our entire society. To
go and enjoy it. And it's not just, a lot of people think Latino and maybe Mexican, but for instance, you're from Colombia.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it's other countries as well. You were telling me a bit about that before the show, right?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely. I'm from Colombia. I'm from the coast of Colombia, and the population is growing too. Venezuelans are growing too. I feel we Colombians are more similar maybe in the culture to Venezuelans. So that's been an interesting thing to learn now that I'm here with all these immigration of different countries, including Venezuelans that I'm talking about. I've learned about Venezuelan folklore while being here. So this is our very rich culture and community, and I'm so happy that I'm seeing here that I'm living that.
Yeah, because there's that diversity and the welcoming. I hope everyone feels welcome as they come here now, as those times continue to change. You talk about the immigrants. You're from Colombia, but you just recently became a citizen?
Yeah, I did. Yes.
Talk about that process for you, because that's something I would imagine you can assist individuals with that are here in this country, right?
Yes. I'm proud of it. I've been...
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. I've been 10 years here. It became really quickly. I wasn't expected for the test to come that quick. It took me 6 months. I applied, and then I got the notice that I'm going to be having the test. I had like 3 weeks to study. But now I know probably more than a lot of people, because I had to study American history, the presidents, the wars, how the government works, which was incredibly helpful.
Yeah, okay, so in that process for you went fairly quickly. I mean, do you find that, I mean, some folks it takes longer than that. I mean, what was it? Did you have to have legal representation? How did you go through? How did you learn the process? And what kind of service, if someone's watching this program and they're like, well, yes, I'd like to seek the citizenship through the legal venues, how do I go about doing that?
Absolutely.
Now, I know you're not an attorney, but just share your personal experience.
No, absolutely. I applied, I went and I had 2 weeks break from job and from work, and I said, okay, this is the time I'm going to apply. I apply. You go online, you fill out the paperwork, send the application, a couple of copies of documents they require, and then you start getting and receiving notifications. You go to get your fingerprints, and then you get the notification for your appointment for your test. So you have to learn about, well, it's exactly 100 questions. And then you get there. You don't have to have legal representation. There are some exceptions for people that need, maybe their English is not, they don't have proficiency in English, so you can go and have an interpreter or even have the text in Spanish, in our cases, Latinos, or your language.
Did you speak English this fluently when you first came here, or if you just, because you speak very well, how much did you learn here? Was it a second language that you had to learn once you got here 10 years ago?
I didn't speak English when I got here. No, I didn't. I think I learned.
You're great. You do very well. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It hasn't been easy. It's not easy. But let me tell you, Spanish is harder than English.
Now, there are similarities. I mean, you say that there's right? Wouldn't you say, as opposed to having, your Spanish and you're learning German, that's hard.
Oh, yes.
But there are similarities between Spanish and English. But yeah, you're right, especially if you're learning it when you're older. The best time to learn a second language, I think, is maybe young person, high school or before.
Yes, of course. I've been, like, before when I lived in Colombia, I will listen music in English or watch movies in English. I did have classes in the school, but these are very basic classes that had to be just in the curriculum, but not intentional to speak English. And so I just came here, and you put yourself out there and go and make an order in the restaurant and ask whoever is with you to do it for you. Go to the groceries and do it by yourself. Go to work interviews, job interviews.
So you pick it up as you go, because you have to learn, right?
I had to.
What is it? I'm just curious, from your own personal story, and there are so many that do come here, then what was the reason? What brought you to the States from Colombia?
I was going to show you my ring, but I lost it, so I came for love.
Okay, so your husband?
Yes,
okay.
I came to get married with my boyfriend, and I came with a fiancé visa, which gave us 3 months to get married.
Okay.
So I came, we got married, and here we are.
And that explains how you were able, because getting citizenship that quickly, but when you have an American that you're married, that streamlines the process, of course, as it goes down.
Yes,
now,
he's Colombian too, by the way.
Yeah,
he's American.
Yes. Okay, but he was American citizen at the time. Interesting. When we talked about the Hispanic Heritage Month, was it just last month or the month before where there was a resolution with the Metro Council?
Yes.
And from what I understand is you're a pretty slick dancer. I don't know. We may have video of this. What was that all about when you went and talked to the council and the mayor and you actually put on a performance?
Yes. So council member Sandra Sepulveda, she was the one that presented the resolution.
Okay.
And she was talking to me.
A resolution observing the
Hispanic Heritage Month.
Okay, and there you are. Talk about that.
Oh my God. Well, that's on the Latin Party. That just happened this Saturday.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's the Latin Party. That's the fundraising, one of our largest fundraising event at Conexion Americas.
Gotcha.
And this is the first time.
Where is that? Where is that? Where are they
This was the farmers market.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yes, and it was the first time we did it in this venue. First time in 2 years, and this here is the council.
Okay, that's you. Is that you?
Yes, that's me dancing in front of the vice mayor and all the council members. But it was amazing to be there.
Okay, and the idea was just to show culturally, and again, the outfit, the dance. What was the point you were making?
Gosh, this is such an important place to represent that the council, the city. We are right here talking about city, talking about our society, and I just think I didn't thought it this way until I was dancing. This is just the best scenario to show our culture. So I'm representing the Latino culture, I'm representing Colombian culture from the coast of Colombia. All these outfits, the music is carrying African heritage because this is Afro-Colombian music.
You're right.
So it's just a lot of history and a lot of to tell from this dance. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I just get chills thinking about it.
Yeah, see, that's neat. Well, I'm sure they enjoyed it. Listen, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get into more details just about some of the offerings Conexion Americas involved with. Talk maybe about some of the cuisine, as our executive producer was telling you. If you want to talk about something Nick really is into, it's the food. He's already got you pigeonholed to take us to a Colombian restaurant and introduce us to the different foods. So we'll get into some of that. We can take some calls and questions, and we'll also touch bases on some of the inroads those in the Latino community have made into our government. We have judges now. We have council members that have a Latino background. It's just part of our population. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this. Stay with us.